In this week's Parashat Vayeshev, we see how Yosef brings bad report of his brothers to his father. And because of these bad reports and evil reports, his brothers start hating him and eventually sell him to Egypt. And because of their actions, we are paying back till this day. And what kind of things was Yosef telling his father regarding his brothers? So the Midrash says one thing that he was saying was how the brothers were eating meat without slaughtering it properly, before even slaughtering it, and that's a no-no. So, but in reality, what was really happening was that the brothers had slaughtered the animal, but it was still quivering, it was still shaking, right? So they weren't eating meat without ritual slaughtering. They were slaughtering it properly, but Yosef misinterpreted their actions. He misunderstood what they were doing. But in reality, they weren't doing anything wrong. Or they were eating the fetus of the animal. After they slaughtered the animal itself, they found the fetus inside. And in that instance, the fetus does not need to be slaughtered. And they were eating the fetus without slaughtering it. And Yosef, again, misinterpreted that, and he felt that it was something that was wrong to do. And that's what he told his father. Um, Another thing that he would tell his father was that the brothers would talk to the Canaanite woman, and he felt that was wrong. But in reality, again, he misinterpreted and misunderstood because the brothers were conducting business transactions with the Canaanite woman, and that was perfectly fine. So it was a lack of communication between Yosef and his brothers that caused this hatred among them. But can it be? Can it be that because of this, just a pure, simple lack of communication and misunderstanding, this whole episode took place? The hatred, the selling, and everything that we went through because of just a lack of communication? Says Rav Yonatan Aibishitz, yes. And in fact, he understands the pasuk, Vayisnu oto. They hated him. The brothers hated Yosef. Why was it? What was the source of their hatred? Because they couldn't speak peacefully with him. They were not able to sit down and work out their grievances together because they didn't have that open communication and they weren't able to communicate. That's why the hatred and the resentments built up. In a marriage, many times one spouse sees in the other some actions and the spouse misinterprets or misunderstands or assumes a certain assumption. And that assumption stays with that spouse for days, weeks, years, and it turns into resentments. It turns into hatred. It creates distance in the marriage, right? Many times we work with a couple in a session over an issue, and one of the couple says, I never knew you really felt that way. Or I never really knew that that's what you were thinking. So why is that? Why is it that spouses have to wait to go to therapy to be able to understand each other and communicate with each other? Why isn't it that communication? That open communication of feelings, of thoughts, that's not judging and not misunderstanding and not misinterpreting things. But we see that that's what causes the resentments to build up. That's what causes the relationship to be distant from each other. And that's, Rav Yonatan Abisha says, that's what Veisnuto, the hatred comes, the resentments build up, because there is no open communication. Let's hope that we could change it. We could change this, and we could change Veisnuto. We should not have that hatred, not have that resentment building up. How? By Yachlu Dabru Lishlam, by having that open communication, by being able to discuss our concerns with each other, with our spouses, in an open line communication and in a healthy manner. Shabbat Shalom.